as I discussed about 5 chilling letters sent by notorious serial killers in my previous video, and this is part 2 of the video. In this video, we'll tell about 5 more letters that's sent by notorious serial killers. So, do not waste our further time, let's begin the video. Number 1. Ian Brady. Brady sent a letter from prison to an interested journalist, detailing his relationship with his partner in crime Myra Hindley. In the early 1960s, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley, known as the Moors murderers, killed 5 children, ages 10 to 17. 3 graves were discovered on Manchester's Saddleworth Moor in England, but the murderers never revealed the identities of their other victims' burial areas. Under Brady's effect, Hindley claimed she was forced to take part in the atrocities. However, he offers an alternative explanation. Letter statement: Hindley has crafted a Victorian melodrama in which she portrays herself as being forced to murder serially. We both habitually carried revolvers and went for target practice on the moors. If I were mistreating her, she could have shot me dead at any time. For 30 years, she said she was acting out of love for me. Now she maintained she killed because she hated me, a completely irrational hypothesis. In character, she is essentially a chameleon, adopting whatever camouflage will suit and voicing whatever she believes the individual wishes to hear. She can kill, both in cold blood or in a rage. Number 2. Dennis Nelson. This peculiar serial killer wrote this letter to himself 6 weeks after his arrest, taking an introspective tone. Reportedly a mild-mannered civil worker, Dennis Nelson was known for killing at least 12 young men and retaining their bodies. For 5 years beginning in 1978, he was sometimes referred to as the British Jeffrey Dahmer. The horrific killings at Melrose Avenue and Cranley Gardens in the North London area of Muswell Hill were carried out by Nelson between 1978 and 1983. His victims were all young guys, between the ages of 14 and 30. When he killed them, he would ritualistically wash their bodies before dissecting them. Unexpectedly, Nelson sent this self-appraisal letter to himself 6 weeks after being arrested for his crimes. Rather of being boastful like previous similar confession letters from serial killers, Nelson's letter is solemn and thoughtful. He wrote in his letter, "The greater the beauty of the man, the greater was the sense of loss and grief. Their dead naked bodies fascinated me, but I would have done anything to have them back alive. At least 3 of the attempts I managed to revive and felt like I had actually saved their lives. I have felt since my teenage days that I am a creative psychopath." Number 3. The Axemen of New Orleans. This letter was addressed to a steamed mortal and detailed the anonymous killer's plans for their next strike. In 1918 and 1919, a mystery man with an axe murdered at least 8 persons in New Orleans, the majority of them being Italian immigrants or Italian Americans. To make things even more awkward, the victims in most of these situations were killed with their own axes. Who the axeman is still a mystery. On March 13, 1919, a letter from the axeman addressed to a steamed mortal appeared in a number of New Orleans newspapers. His letter statement, he said that on March 19th, at 15 minutes after midnight, he would follow out his plan to kill again, but that he would not kill everybody who was listening to jazz. Naturally, there were lots of get-togethers that evening to keep off the axeman, but there were no killings. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time I have just mentioned. If everyone has a jazz band going, well, then, so much the better for you people. One thing is certain, and that is that some of your people who do not jazz it out on that specific Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe. Number 4. Gary Ridgway. The Green River Killer wrote letters to his wife nearly every day after his 2001 arrest, eventually revealing a confession to his crimes in this letter. Gary Ridgway became known as the Green River Killer after admitting to killing 48 prostitutes and wanderers in the state of Washington in the 1980s and 1990s. He wrote a letter about the murders to the Seattle Post-Intelligencer in 1984, titled What You Need to Know Regarding the Green River Man. The murderer wrote in bloody language about necrophilia and pulling off victims' fingernails before signing off as Calmaford. According to the authorities, it was a daring attempt to confuse the investigators. Ridgway's back and forth with the authorities ended when DNA evidence connected him to the 2001 murders. He avoided the death penalty by entering into a plea deal. I made a prayer to God I will stop killing if I do not get caught. I had to live with all that in me all those years. I could not tell you. I was like an alcoholic dry for a time, then fell off the wagon. I miss you so much. Number 5. The Zodiac Killer. The notoriously anonymous killer sent several cryptic letters. The Zodiac Killer haunted the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Even though the Zodiac was only directly involved in 5 murders, letters claiming to be from him were implicated in almost 40 killings. His true identity is still unknown. The Zodiac delivered this creepy Halloween card to reporter Paul Avery of the San Francisco Chronicle in 1970. Avery was looking into the Zodiac case for the paper. The Zodiac Killer targeted 4 men and 3 women, ages 16 to 29, in Benicia, Vallejo, Lake Berryessa, and San Francisco in the late 1960s. 5 people lost their lives during his despotic rule. He sent 6 letters to the local Bay Area media, 4 of which were cryptograms. The letter stated, "I have killed 10 people to date. Friends, these were 10 disturbing crimes committed on the creepiest night of the year. Viewers, what you can say about these crimes, please tell me in the comment section. Friends, if you liked this video, please like the video and subscribe my channel for more amazing videos, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Take care of yourself, and I meet you in a new video.